Hey guys, Lance at 634 here, and we're going to do a patch rundown on patch 9.10 for League of Legends. This patch dropped the notes here 5 hours ago. I have not read them, and I have not been paying attention to the player beta or surrender at 20. So we're just going to jump right in and see what we've got in here. First off, looks like Yumi's going to be here. That's going to be interesting. I think she's going to feel like a release Rakan in a way. Except she's going to heal, not engage. So hopefully a little more balanced. Brand increase in damage. He's going to get 20 more flat damage and a little bit more scaling, targeting mid lane. It's going to help his support too, obviously, but maybe it'll put him back in mid. I doubt it. A little more solo queue dominance. Caitlyn, headshot, or not headshot damage, but snap trap damage. So the extra damage when they proc the trap. Increase that early rank, so that's going to help out if you land a thresh hook and you have a Caitlyn, you land the trap, you can do damage. A little more punishing. It's not going to really change high elo. It'll make lower elo a little bit higher for Caitlyn, I think. Fiora, this is a really cool change. Allowing Braum and Kennen to apply their stack so they waste their stun. So instead of like automatically just like sitting there with one stack from stun and then automatically proccing it as soon as she's out of her post, it'll proc it and apply the stun then. This is actually a really good buff for Fiora, and it actually helps one of her worst matchups against Kennen. Then we've got Graves getting some detonation damage on Q at late game. Cool buff. Don't really think it's going to change too much. I mean, Graves is pretty solid already, so this will help him be just a little bit better. Master Yi, no more cast time on Alpha Strike, and then he can strike additional targets for 25% damage before checking for nearby targets again. So you can hit someone for 175% damage now with a Q? Okay. No cast time on W anymore. Losing the 10% attack damage while not on cooldown is solid, so the passive attack damage is gone. That's really, really good, because this Q is going to just nuke people. It's going to one-shot things. I wonder how fast that goes off, but I mean, he's going to be intargetable the whole time. Plus, that lack of cast time on these is going to really help higher elo E players. The R also got more movement speed at higher ranks, so yeah, he's going to be really, well, all ranks actually, but yeah, he's going to be really strong. I would foresee him seeing a nerf in a couple patches, because this sounds really strong with little counterplay. Riven, we've got Q, lower cooldown at all ranks, including rank 1, which is immense. And the cooldown on her E is up. Okay, so this is really good, because the E is what a lot of high elo Riven players play around. Obviously, you play around all her abilities, you cancel abilities left and right, things like that. But this is making you think about what you're going to use your E on, and it also standardizes the cooldowns to 10 seconds at max rank. So at the end of the day, that's going to be nice. Alright, we've got some Shaco changes. Modernizing his ultimate. So 200 range in the direction of Shaco's cursor facing the clone. So he gets to better control hallucinate, and that's going to be really cool. It'll probably feel a little wonky for Shaco mains, but I don't foresee that being an issue for really anyone else picking him up. That's going to feel better. It's going to feel more intuitive. But big note, there is no actual damage increases or actual number changes. This is just a quality of life, essentially, on his ult, which is cool. Soraka Q, getting a change, has 1% more movement speed at rank 1 when you hit your Q, 5% at max rank, and the movement speed significantly less rapidly decaying. So this is to pull her up a little bit in the power level because I think she's hovering at about 50% on 9.9. This should put her about 51 probably. It makes her a little stronger in lane that you can go for those Q trades again. Might be interesting to see if Soraka's actually max Q now. I know I like to take 2 points into Q before I go into W, so that'll be interesting. Tryndamere. We've got a -1 cooldown at all ranks for E, and the ability power ratio's down. This is really probably the nail in the coffin for AP Tryndamere, to be honest. But AD Tryndamere, more buffs. AD Tryndamere is getting really good. He might be some sleeper pro play coming up here soon. It'll take a bit though to get there. But it's a possibility at this point. Vayne tumble cooldown reduction is going to scale, so this makes her less of a monster at 6 and even 11, and the same monster at 16. This is a good change. This is smart. I think it's targeting the right thing. It's the frustrating thing with Vayne is how much her cooldown tumbles off cooldown. So hopefully that it'll put her in line a little bit, and it'll also make her early game weakness shine a little bit more. I think it's a good change. Xin Zhao, Q cooldown reduced early. So, okay, so this is in response to the Scuttle spawn changing. There's no immediate fight, so Xin Zhao can have his early power spike. That's cool. This is good for Xin Zhao players, good for Xin Zhao in general. Probably another, probably like a 0.5% increase on his win rate with this. Just gives you a little faster clear, really, and you know, every level, but what, rank level 9, you're going to be at a lower cooldown than you're used to, so that's really nice. Zyra passive, reducing the damage her plants take from those that shouldn't trigger additional effects. His attacks that don't trigger on-hit effects no longer deal a separate instance of damage. So Misfortune no longer counters Zyra in the bot lane. That's really big. I'd expect to see Zyra actually get a lot more priority pick now with this, because yeah, the only reason why she was pushed out of support is you could place MF support into it. And then she also countered Thresh pretty well, and she counters Braum. So maybe we see her in pro play with this. Maybe it'll be on the fence. Items: Essence Reaver 5 more 80, Lamau 5 more 80. The joke is back. This is gonna be really good. This probably puts Xayah back in a good spot. Probably too good of a spot for pro play standards because she's going to rush this. This also helps some other builds, but it's going to be Xayah. Maybe Ezreal starts going this. I doubt it though. Ezreal's in a weird spot right now. More on that later. Rageblade. Phantom hit frequency every 3 attacks, more a flat 15% pen as soon as you buy it. Initial thoughts is that Kog'Maw's gonna like this a little bit more because he benefits from the dual pen. Kayle might like this a little more, but the 3 attacks to get the Phantom hit is gonna it kills it on Vayne. It really, it barely hurts Kai'Sa in all actuality because it's 4-hit passive. So it procs every time you proc passive. So this is still okay for Kai'Sa, and with the pen, it's probably an upgrade to Kai'Sa actually. You're not going to see the burst as fast. It might be another quarter to a half second, but the burst is going to be harder there. And then just your other on-hitters are going to be fine. The big thing is this dual hybrid pen that's nuts. 15% each. You get Gunsu, if you get the Rageblade and you get a Void Staff, that's 50% pen right there. That's ridiculous, to be honest. Hunter's Talisman. Since pets feel like a champion's ability and abilities trigger Hunter's Talisman burn, we're making so that pets also apply that burn. Okay. Cool. Weird change, but can take it. I'm trying to think of who it's going to be used for. Maybe we start seeing Zyra jungle? Maybe? That's just a really weird change. Runic Echoes. We've got combined cost down. That's really good. Again, it's good. This is a huge Elise buff. Elise is gonna be super strong now. Probably first pick ban on the pro circuit. And you might see some other like more AP Grog. Maybe jungle Diana, maybe jungle Kale. But AP junglers are loving this change, and this is huge. Conqueror, we hear you. It's too strong, so we're nerfing it. At full stacks, 8% damage instead of 10 is converted to true damage and healing. Okay, so they're just straight up smacking the top end off of this, and it's probably the right call. Interesting. Yes. We'll see how it shifts down 2%. It might need to go a little lower, but it's a hit in the right direction, and it's a soft enough hit to where it shouldn't break everything. ARAM balance changes. We'll go through these pretty quickly. Additional turret damage happens at 3 minutes later. Minion wave frequency 3 minutes later. Movement speed increase 3 minutes later. Death timer at level 18 is lower, so it's not just an instant loss. If you're pushing on the enemy and you lose the fight at their nexus, you just don't get reverse swept down the mid lane. 9-10 nerfs. Aatrox loses all of his buffs, deservedly so. Janna gets some more nerfing there with less shielding. Maokai nerf, he's dealing even less damage, so rip AP Maokai. He will be missed. Sona getting smacked with some nerfing again. Big key here is the shielding's now reduced and the healing instead of just the healing. And then they have the same amount of damage dealt and damage taken. So a net loss on Sona here, but she's going to heal more, shield less. Champion buffs: Azir, Kalista, Katarina, Mordekaiser, Talia, Tristana, Zac, Zoe. All in all, good changes, I think, from my experience playing ARAM lately. Rune adjustments: Gathering Storm, Adaptive Force every 6 minutes on ARAM. Okay, that puts it on the map. And Demolish is getting a nerf, so it does about half the damage to structures. Really good change, because you could run 5 tanks with Demolisher and literally just one-shot towers down until you win the game. It doesn't matter what they do because they can't kill you. So, good change for the Demolish, I think. Bug fixes: Rakan E, Tom Kench W, MF properly laughs during bullet time. That's a good bug fix right there. Papercraft Nunu fix up for the biggest snowball ever, not largest. Overall, nothing game changing in the bug fixes. Skins and chromas. We've got the Battle Academia set coming out. That's gonna be really hype. Really good skins in that set. And Lux is getting a Prestige edition. Of course she is, because we need to give Prestige to every skin group now. So that'll be 100 Prestige points in the crafting. So good luck, fellow summoners, on unlocking that. And some chromas for these skins. So you got Graves, Yuumi, Katarina, and Jace. And that will be it for patch 9.10. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And if you like this, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel to see the other patch updates I'll do in the future. And check me out on Twitch. Thanks, and see you next time.